What's up, TubeTube? Welcome to Low Guido's Chop Shop, the second best Gel Blaster channel on the tubes. I'm not dead. Still out here. But subscriptions to my channel are dead, so hit the button. What I have here is a gel ball sorter, and it is a device that I think is pretty cool and handy, and I used it in the last video I did where I was sorting the Ultra Elite V2s. Now what's become apparent to me is since I did the V2 video, some people, or at least one person, some people don't understand what this actually is and what it's doing. One person wrote me a novel of how they weren't happy with my review. Troy here, 6509, didn't like that I didn't measure them or test that they would jam or that they were disfigured or anything. And I think what might have slipped over some people's heads is that is exactly what this is doing. His suggestion was that I get my verniers, set them to like 7.5 or whatever, and then just run them through the gels and see how many gels get through the jaws. That is exactly what is happening here. These two bars here are set at a determined distance by these grub screws that allows different gels to slide through at the different settings. The other thing that's up here is a feed wheel. This is a feed wheel that is present in basically every electric gel ball mag on the market. This is pretty much exactly what you would see in the bottom of your mag. So if anything's gonna pick up a jam or a disfigured gel that's not gonna feed properly, it will show up right here. And to demonstrate that, I'm just gonna do it now, and I'm gonna show you how it works. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some gels that I know are oversized and will probably jam, alright? And because I know they're oversized, I know they're going to end up in this last bottle, but here we go. We'll set that up. Alright, so I've got some gels here. All of these gels are 7.5 or up. These are all oversized gels. So, I'm going to drop them on in here. I'm not going to put too many in here because I expect this probably will jam. And they should all end up in this third bottle. Alright, straight away there. You saw, I don't know if you saw, did you see the wheels struggling? Here, I'll drop some more in. The wheel's struggling with some of these gels. Yeah, see, it's struggling. There, look, it's jammed. It's jammed, it can't even feed them. I'm having to help it feed. There. Alright. Now, if we zoom out a bit, you'll see all of those gels have landed in the oversized bottle. Let me just pull that so it's not making noise. So all of those gels have been landed in the oversized bottle, right? So we know they're too big. It doesn't matter if they're 7.5, 7.6, 7.8, 8, whatever, it doesn't matter, they're just too big. They're oversized, right? So they've landed in that bottle. If the gels were fit for use, they land in the middle bottle. And if they're too small, they land in this left bottle. Now, just for continuity's sake, I've got the V2s here. So I'll just pour a handful of them into the top of the sorter. Alright, here we go. Got the V2s in the top of the sorter. Alright. Now you saw, sorry, come around on my microphone side. Now you saw it struggled a little bit at the start because there was still some of the oversized ones jammed in this spout, so it had to push them through. So it struggled a little bit, but once it started, they all went through. And guess where they landed? In the middle bottle. Hopefully that clears a few things up for people. And a few people had some questions about it. And I had intended to do a review on this sorter before I did the review on the V2s, but I just felt like the V2s being like just released, I should probably prioritize the video, do that video first and then do this. Anyway, so as a result, this is not stock out of the box anymore. When I got it, it came with these white lids screwed to the bottom here, and the threads on these is I don't know what thread it is. It's not like a Coke bottle thread, it's some other random thread. I'm not sure what bottles these actually fit, but yeah, it came with the 3 of these on the bottom there. And what I tried to do initially is I tried getting like a Coke bottle lid and cutting the holes and stuff to make it fit. And as it turned out, the thickness of this plastic here is very thin, and the screws, the M3 screws that they have, which are these guys here, are very short. Some of them barely even thread into the little nuts inside as it is. So the thickness of the Coke bottle lid was just too thick for those screws to fit in. So what I did is I quickly designed up a 3D model of the Coke bottle thread with the hole and the mounting 3mm mounting holes for the M3 screws, and that file is available on Gelsoft AU Discord, or you could also message Frontier Psychiatrist on the Gelsoft AU and he can print some up for you for a small fee and ship them out to you if you don't have a 3D printer or don't have any friends that have 3D printers. I found that is kind of a necessity because it's kind of pointless with these things because I don't know what bottles they fit, so I usually use, like most, yeah, anyway, all the bottles I've got have got this sort of thread. So that was the first thing I did. The second thing you might notice is I've got a battery lead coming out the side here. Now, originally this had a teeny tiny little lithium battery inside, but I was having trouble sometimes during the sorting where the wheel would just stop and it just wouldn't turn anymore, and I can only assume that my battery was getting low and it wasn't providing enough juice to turn the thing. And there is on the side here a USB-C charging port where you can charge the internal battery. However, I just went straight up, bypass that, and just ran some wires out the side so I can just get like a decent sized battery in there and just connect up to that and then just be done with it. And so when you turn that on, the little wheel spins. Yeah, to be fair, like, it was probably unnecessary. This actually has 2 different speeds. It's got a high speed and a low speed. But to be fair, like having an onboard battery and recharging and all that sort of stuff was probably unnecessary for this device. Like they could have just sold it with a you know, a little lead like that, and you provide your own battery. And like, I mean, I'm probably going to modify this again myself, where I'm going to actually remove all the circuits and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, let's dive into this a bit more. Obviously, you can see it's got some screws here, so the first thing we're going to do is pull it apart, disconnect the battery because safety, and let's get going. Now these 4 screws actually go all the way through and hold both sides of this together. So one's a screw and one's a nut, so to speak. They are a 2.5mm Allen key, and by taking that off, you can see the back panel has come off. Just get those screws out of the way. I'm going to flip that over for you so you can see back panel off. Now, while I'm looking at the back here, I just want to make note of these 2 grub screws, which are accessible even with the back panel on. But what those actually do is they give you an adjustment on the bar at the back here, so that you can alter the size calibration for what gels are going to fall where. So depending on your situation, you can calibrate this to be the way that you like, filtering the sizes that you like. This last one is just the bar ends and then it drops. So anything bigger will just drop into that last one. The way this is calibrated at the moment is I think I've got my between 7 and 7.3 or thereabouts down this middle one, and then I think I've got like the smaller ones, and then the bigger ones. But again, you can play around with that, which is good. It's good to be able to play around with that. Here's the circuit on the back here. You can see it's got a little circuit here. There's another switch here, which I've actually pushed out of the way to put my battery lead through. And it actually varies the speed. So what I've actually done is I've just connected my battery lead on where the normal battery would have connected onto this. But given that I can disconnect this and charge it separately, I probably have no use for this charger anymore. So I might actually just bypass that whole thing and just go battery to the motor. Because, I mean, it's just a mag motor. Just a mag motor spinning a little wheel. Very similar to a mag feed. I believe this is 3D printed as well, resin 3D printed. It's a very high quality print. Very nice. Certainly could do with a few minor tweaks, but otherwise pretty good, worth having. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if this piddly little battery was just too small or what the story was. I got no time for that. I just ran this wire to run a bigger battery so I can just filter lots and lots of gels. The other thing is on the top here, the thread, which I believe is probably the same thread as these weird lids that it comes with, is sort of built into it's in the 3D print, it's printed into it. So when I put my bottles into it, I just sort of have to dump them in and just sort of let them sit there, which works. They sit there okay. but maybe a funnel bucket or something on top of that might be worth investigating. It's also worth noting that for it to filter properly, it has to be vertical and it has to be standing up in this plane. Like if it's on an angle like this or that, it's not going to work. It has to be vertical for the whole gravity ball thing to work. Yeah, it's not bad. Like it's very similar to the concept that I came up with ages ago, where I used the two almost parallel bars to filter. The only difference is because you've got a much shorter distance. My bars were like, I don't know, a meter or something long. So because you've got a much shorter distance here, your angle is a lot steeper. So you have less time, gradient. So you can't make as precise buckets. Like with my long one, you could have like if you wanted to, you could have a 7.1 bucket, a 7.2 bucket, a 7.3 bucket. You could dial it into that. This one, not so much because of the fact that it's just shorter. But other than that, still very good. Worth having. I don't know about that little battery. I'm going to have to investigate actually what sort of voltage comes out of this thing when it's on. Because I'm interested to know what's the motor spinning at. So just grab my multimeter. Alright. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, is it because I've got it open? I've got the box open, so it's popped out of mesh with the gears, but that's okay. Yeah, right. I was gonna say that's okay. I'm just measuring voltage anyway, but I'll all right. Let's see. What do we got? So I'm measuring 4 volts at the thing there, which is actually battery voltage, right? So if I connected the 4 volts of the battery, like, hang on, I don't know if you can. All right, so this battery is 4 volts, and then when I turn that on, I'm getting 4 volts. Okay, what I've just realized here is this wire that goes to the motor, this positive wire actually goes through the switch to the motor. So there is like a small circuit going on here with the switch, which actually drops the voltage. There's a diode there. Is it just using the diode to drop the voltage? Are they just using the 0.7 volt voltage drop across the diode to slow the motor down? Is that what's going on here? 1.7, something like that. Why is that? Anyway, whatever. I think my need for this circuit board is pretty limited. I think what I'm actually going to do is just rip this out, and I'm just going to solder wires directly to the motor and just be done with it. So I can just run my battery from here, and I can regulate the voltage to change the speed. So I'll just get like a small buck converter or something adjustable on the input here, and just forget about all this internal battery and USB-C charging and stuff. Yeah, it's just unnecessary in my opinion, especially if it doesn't play when you want it to, which is what I was experiencing. Anyway, other than me having those issues and the bottle caps that don't seem to fit any bottles that I know of, pretty good little unit. It's certainly sped up my sorting game, and I might even do a lot more gel videos, gel sorting and crushing videos now that I've got this, because one of my biggest gripes about doing gel sorting videos is that it would take me all day to do a video. And, you know, while some people appreciate that, it was really not worth the effort for me to spend all day sorting gels by size and crushing them. Yeah, so I really disliked doing gel ball crushing videos, and it's ironic because that's kind of one of my more popular video metas is the gel crushing thing. And yes, but anyway, now that I've got this, I might make some mods to it so that it performs the way I like, and then I'll be able to do more videos. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, you can buy a patch from Hardcore Blasters, or you can buy me a coffee in the link below, or even better than that, just hit the subscribe button. That's free, costs nothing. Show me that you're still there and you still care. Thanks for watching. Peace.